given all that new stuff coming out, new platforms, new people have come on the scene. It used to be Line 6 and Kemper and Axe, right? And Fractal. Now, Quad Cortex. You can't talk about it without talking about Quad Cortex. Yeah. Tonocracy is now this new thing. Neural Amp Modeler. We see these softwares. Tonex, obviously. How does that get? It's always going to be in the conversation. In the end, what we've seen is this space get more fragmented. Who wins in the end?
I just had a guy text me over the week. I was gone last week. And he texted me and said, man, he's like, I don't know anyone in my life that has played all these units except you. Like, you've spent all the time on all these units and have actually heard them. What do you playing these days? I said, I play the Kemper. That's it for me, And I think a lot of it is that I'm so used to it. I have so many things that I've made for it that I think, okay, ToneMaster Pro, it's like I have 0 now. I'd have to start from the beginning, go make all my presets again, go find all the amps I like, go test all of the things I've tested endlessly on the Kemper, and I told him that. I said, so if you're coming in brand new and fresh, man, I don't know. That's a hard decision because it's like you have it's almost like me getting into video editing. It's like, there's Premiere, there's Resolve, there's Final Cut Pro. I don't know. I don't have any of these. So it's like wherever you just land,
right.
You land there, you learn it, and then you run with it, So for me, it's Kemper. That's the answer to the question, But for someone brand new coming in and they're like, oh, I love my Quad Cortex. It's like, then commit to it and make sounds that you love and just play the thing. You know?
I think they all sound great.
Yeah.
I think they all sound great enough and good enough to play wherever you're going to play. Yeah. If you're playing on, Broadway in Nashville, if you're playing at a church, if you're playing in a band, like they all sound great. I think it really is. It's a matter of like, what have you invested more time in? Yeah. I remember hearing a review a long time ago from like, I don't know, it was like an older iPhone release, but it was like comparing the latest iPhone release to the latest, Google Plus or whatever it is. And it's basically like, look, if you've spent more money on the Apple App Store or the Google Play Store, like just stick with whatever you have. Funny, Like the features are the same these days. And like everyone's going to say, oh, Apple's always late to have all of these things, right? They were late to have this, refresh rate, or they were late to have this, whatever. It's like, fine. At the end of the day, they all do what you want them to do. And there's no like clear, oh, this one's miles ahead.
Right.
I don't think, right? I've heard, demos of the Quad Cortex that sound incredible.
Right.
I also think maybe it's also, the only caveat to that I would say is what style of music you're playing. And,
that's true.
Like if you really love, the way some, hard metal guys set up their stuff on Quad Cortex and they've made that available, then it's like, well, yeah, that's going to sound great, or if you really love, Tone Junkie is obviously, Tone Junkie excels at like the mid gain, right? Like
it's only cleans, John. We only make cleans.
Yeah.
That's what they tell me.
It's like, if you want like a tube amp, on halfway sound, like Tone Junkie, like you have done all of them.
All of them. I do them all at 10 too. I just don't do the
No, you're
heavy
not
stuff.
scooping the mids.
Yeah,
you're not aiming for that metal
Yeah.
audience. And so that's the other thing too. It's like if you've got, I'm sure the same type of thing exists for the Helix. If you've got content creators who are pumping out presets for Helix that you love, then like, and that's like, meshing with your style of music and stuff, then, I think that's what it's about too.
Interesting. Yeah.
So I'm going to say that in the end, Tonex wins. Now, I never think people are all going to go out of business.
Yeah.
But I do think Tonex is going to replace things as the professional alternative. Maybe. Fender is going to, and all these manufacturers are going to realize we don't want to, we'll never replace Axe Effects and Kemper. We'll never be the professional solution. And also there's more money in being in the middle. Like we make more money selling Mexican Fenders than we do custom shop stuff.
Yeah.
Right. It's like, it's always going to be that way. And their Fender, and they're always going to go, they're going to have distribution and they're going to win based on that. Right. Open up a store and don't carry Fender.
Yeah.
You better give lessons, you know what I mean? And they better be piano lessons, you know, but like, Fender's going to win on distribution, right? So they can bring whatever products to the middle of the market, the budget market, to the upper end of the market, sure. But look how even, I mean, you can see from Fender's distribution, if you're a Fender dealer, you're not a Fender custom shop dealer. That's a different dealer network,
Right.
right? And there are some shops, a lot of shops who just carry Kemper, Fender custom shop. They're not touching any other Fender products. That's below where their customers are, you know? And so, but to me, here's the thing. Tonex walks in this door already having software expertise. And that's where I think everyone else is struggling. Everybody else is developing a technology, making a hardware, and software is the thing they're trying to make. But I think increasingly going forward, software is the thing that matters. And like we're seeing from Moore, like we're seeing from all these other people who are making all this stuff, it would appear the ability to make the hardware is becoming less and less the challenge. Like it looks like you can go to the Far East and get someone to make the hardware for you, and you can spec it out, and now it's up to your software. And Tonex walks in having IK already had a big business modeling everything, not just guitar. Now, this also might be why they don't win, because at the end of the day, they don't view the guitar market as a thing to win. They just want to be there competing. But Tonex, I know, has been a crazy kind of accidental success. Like they didn't think it was going to be this successful because their modeling stuff is already where all their stuff was. Were any of us playing? What is it even called? Guitar Rig?
Guitar. Yeah, IK Guitar Rig 5 or whatever.
Amplitude.
Okay.
That's it. Amplitude 5. We're not using that stuff. I'm not using that. People who are doing like home production and using it already have IK as like, hey, there's Universal Audio. I heard IK makes this thing. I can run this plugin. I don't even know if they're the top of the market in that space, that plugin space, but they already have approached this with software that is super extensive. They already have all the modeling built out. So you know where they're going with Tonex is we already have the Tonex product. We're going to add it to our modeling. They have to be coming out with a Helix type unit, a big floorboard unit that has their Tonex stuff, but with all the Amplitude stuff
Delays,
in it.
reverb.
They have all of it already modeled. It's
so
already
I have
modeled.
a question. So I was talking to the same guy about this because he asked me too, like, you know, have you tried this? Have you tried this? Then I said, well, have you tried Tonex? Because that's been what I've been super impressed with. And he likes his pedal board. So I was like, man, that's like a no-brainer. Like you throw that on your board. His question was Tonex the first product that IK did that was capture tech? Because you're talking about model this, model that.
It's the first capture tech they've done
for them.
Yeah.
Okay, because he was like, oh yeah, I've played IK stuff and didn't like it.
Yeah.
But I was like, but that's new. You know, like that. That's a new step, and that's the first time I've been like, whoa, listen to this thing.
So Tonex came out shortly after IK really made their first pedals. They took some of their delay and reverb stuff from the software, and they were like, let's make this into a pedal. And they did that, and it just quietly sort of went for like under a year, and then Tonex popped out.
Okay.
And really the Tonex software popped up first. I think the challenge for them is this. If they had realized what a success Tonex would have been, I'm not sure they would have designed this product. I think they would have probably put it into Amplitude and we wouldn't have taken it that seriously. They sort of gave us a Trojan horse product that like IK wasn't huge in the guitar players world. We were not falling over the IK delay and the IK reverb. All of a sudden this Trojan horse comes in and it's like, sounds like the amp, sounds like any amp you want. Captures are easy to trade, easy to buy, easy to sell. Now they have their own marketplace, right? Which we're on, by the way. And right there on your pedal board. Don't change anything. The next thing for them to do is, here's Tonex. We're going to add some modeling capability in there. And now it's your Tonex Plus. If you want delays and verbs, we can do that too. If you want, how much better would the Tonex be if I could just have, if there were 4 different boosts modeled? If I could have a TS9, a Klon, a clean boost, and like something else. And I could just make one of my things foot switchable. Now it's almost like, okay, well, that just added a lot of functionality. Now it's almost like my Tonex compressor, Tonex, and like a delay reverb unit, it's all covered. I don't even need, you know what I mean? And then you start adding that stuff in. It feels like a Helix type product from them is inevitable. Like any day now.
For sure.
Yeah. Any day.
Yeah, it seems like maybe talking about form factor too, because the Tonex is very small, right? I'm looking at it. It's got 3 buttons on it.
Yeah.
That's it. There's not a whole lot of like stage flexibility, right? I feel like maybe something in the future that they'll produce is like a rack mount type unit.
Yeah.
Because I was sitting here thinking like
but they don't need a rack mount. You run everything in your computer.
Well, but here's what I'm saying is that I was thinking like, why don't you just plug in your laptop to a floorboard?
Yeah.
And like now you can get, because there's so many plugins and stuff.
Yeah.
Here's the problem. Your laptop is also where you check your email. And it's also where you...
But they're not going to do that because so they've already made this like really intelligent distinction. If I don't build the GPU capability into the pedal, all I need is this simple ability to be able to reproduce these sounds. Take all the hard work of making this, of the neural network, throw it on the computer.
Yeah.
Computer's out. But what they've given us now is they're the only ones who really have a solution where it's like, if you're in the studio at your computer, your exact sounds. Take that with you. It's the exact sound.
Right.
Being played with you. What they haven't given us yet is all of the amplitude stuff taken with you.
That's my point.
Okay.
My point is like, if you have a rack mount unit or something like the size of like a guitar head, right?
Right.
Like that opens you up to having basically any number of effects, any number of whatever.
I see.
Right?
Yeah.
It's all about DSP.
Yeah.
And so your computer is not the place. Like no one wants to bring their MacBook Pro out on the stage with them, right?
Yeah.
Not only do those things cost way more than all of this does, right? But it's dual purpose or it's multi-purpose, right? And you don't want like, your messages ringtone coming through your guitar tone.
Yeah,
right?
my wife twice has edited our grocery shared note while we've been, right. It's like all
so
these
it's too. So you want it to be isolated, but you don't want the computational effort of making the things can be offloaded onto the computer.
Yeah,
and that's where I feel like the hybrid approach would actually work.
I think they're gonna come out with, I think, a pedal board and a larger unit than the Tonex, like something that is quad cortex-esque, but also the full all-in-one pedal board. I think that's got to be coming next.
Yeah,
they already teased at NAMM their cab. They had the cab, and they said it's not in production. We're experimenting with this stuff. And so to me, I feel like they have the expertise. They've already done the hardest stuff, which is their software is really good. It's already all modeled. And here's the thing. They can go places other people aren't going. They already have all the channel strips done. They already have reverbs that are studio quality reverbs. That's what they sell. They already do drums and percussion. They already do all this stuff.